Hello, everybody, and indeed, welcome to another edition of the Chicago Tony V Show. I'm Chicago Tony V. Today is episode 66. Today is Thursday, April 15th, 2021. That's tax day, everybody. Am I correct on that? That's tax day, right? Don't get me started on the taxes. Don't get me started. I talked a little bit in a previous show about taxes. And, I was cracking some jokes about, am I going to have to hawk all this podcasting equipment after I get my tax bill? Now, the way it works with my accountant, I go out in the boonies. I had to search long and far and tall and wide and distant to find an accountant who was going to mesh up with, let's just call it, my lifestyle. And I did so. I've used the guy for like 20 years. Great dude. The way it works generally is I go meet him, month or two before tax time. He pulls out his pencil, his little calculator. By the way, the French for calculator is calculatrice. Why would I possibly know that? I don't speak French. Calculatrice. Come to think of it, I also know grapefruit too. Pamplemousse, right? That's because of that great set of YouTube musicians that I stumbled upon the other day. Anyway, the dude pulls out his pencil, he pulls out his calculator, he does this, he does that, he crunches numbers, and then he writes really two numbers on a piece of paper. Here's gonna be your federal, and then here's gonna be your state. And he shoves the paper over. And it's like, what do I know? I can't do that shit. I don't understand tax law. It's like, okay, what my guy tells me, that's it. But it's an estimate. And then he mails me paperwork afterwards. A few weeks later, whatever. Well, I got the paperwork finally. And of course, that's what you really owe. And here's envelopes and send it in and all that stuff. It's twice as much as he said. Twice. He was off by 100%. 100. Unfortunately, I'm old enough. I have enough life experience to know how futile it is to go back to either your CPA or the IRS itself and say, hey, what gives? Can you explain this to me? Why are we so off? It's going to go nowhere fast. The way taxes work. In the land of the free and the home of the brave is someone writes a number on a piece of paper, a couple pieces of paper. They make it all look very fancy. Usually it's several pages, right? Lots of little questionnaires. Put little numbers here, put little numbers there. And but at the end of the day, someone puts some numbers on a piece of paper, and then by God, you'd better pay what those numbers say on the piece of paper. Better pay it. Talk about a life of crime, huh? Anyway, I didn't really want to talk about taxes today. That's quite a thing. Here's what I really want to talk about. I noticed something yesterday. A lot of times when I'm doing this show, and yesterday was one of those shows, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And sometimes it's so bad that it's right before the camera turns on, I'll think of something. Yesterday was one of those days. But then later in the day, I noticed something and I instantly knew. It's like, oh, that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So yesterday afternoon, I was given this morning's topic. And what I noticed yesterday is I noticed myself getting excited for the month of May. The month of May. I say it in a very specific way, the month of May. Why do I say it that way? Because that's what we say when we are Indy500 fans. It goes way back. If you go way back in the day, that event was essentially a month-long event. What it was back in the day is you would go to the track. So, you got to remember, back in the day, the rules were We don't care how you put together your car. Put something with 4 wheels together. And if you could go faster than everyone else and keep it together, if your car doesn't die, if you don't crash into the wall or over the wall, if your car or you don't die and you finish first, you win. We don't care how you get there. So it used to be this very exciting entire month. They would let race teams come early so they could test out their new concoctions on the track. And so as fans, if you talk to longtime fans, if you talk to, like every time I'm in Indianapolis for the month of May, I always like to find old timers and talk to them. What was it like? They will wax poetic about the old days. And what they used to do is they used to love that as soon as opening day, boom, they're at the track because they want to see what amazing Franken machines that the race teams brought this year, you know? And because it was so wide open and so experimental and so freeing, I mean, the cars would look different and the cars would sound different. There's the turbine engines, I believe, is the one, especially that old timers will talk about because it sounded like a freaking jet engine going around the track. There was nothing like it. There was all this buzz because fans were like, what the hell is this thing? It doesn't even sound like a race car. What is going on? I believe a turbine won, and that might even be the single Mario Andretti win. Will one of my fact checkers please check that out? Did Mario Andretti win with a turbine engine? That would be a good lesson for Georgie girl since she missed the Mario Andretti question of the quiz. Anyway, but I'm super excited to go to Indy. I'm telling you, I'm super excited. And I loved, because we all missed it last year. God damn it. Because of this flu thing. That goddamn bug that's going around. It's got a name. If they shank us again this year, I'm going to totally lose my shit. Listen, okay. All you other Indy500 fans here, we got to stick together. Food for thought. We got to plan for our retort. When the overlords tell us, I'm sorry. No. You cannot converge and enjoy the Indy500 this year. No, sorry. If they shank us again this year, I'm going to lose my shit. I'll organize, whatever. I'll buy billboards. Anyway, here's the argument. Here we go. Are you ready? I've said on previous shows, last week I went out west. I was on 6 different airplanes. 6. Every last one of them was packed to the freaking gills. Our whole airline industry that's how it's operating. There is no social distancing. And I'm sorry. If you think about sitting at the Indy500, I don't care if it's 500,000 people. That place is so huge, it ain't like packing into an airplane, everybody. No. You mean to if our overlords try to tell us, sorry, it's too dangerous for you guys in open air. I can already tell this is going to be a contentious show. If the overlords tell us it's too dangerous, sorry, to be in open air, right? With the mask on, whatever. Sorry, too dangerous. Bull freaking shit. They're flying people around in these little aluminum inner tubes, scrunched together, confined spaces, closer than you would ever be, even at the Indy500. And trust me, I know. I've been to 33 of those suckers in a row. I know about sitting at the Indy500. If they do this to us, I'm the PR manager. The Chicago Tony V show is going to turn into the let Roger Penske, for the love of Christ, have fans at his race. That's what it's going to turn into. The show's already off the rails because I'm so passionate. I had no idea that these thoughts were going to come out of my mouth, but they have. I've talked before about, I got to think about the logistics, because in all previous 33 visits to the Indy500, I have not been the executive producer and on-air talent for the Chicago Tony V show. This is new territory. And you know me, the Big Diesel, I like to keep laying down content. I like to do this day after day. I like to see all you people. We'll have coffee together. We'll do call-ins. By the way, phone lines are open. And, we'll have a good old time. I like to do it. And it dawned on me a couple months ago. It's like, holy crap, I like to be in Indianapolis for the month of May. But I like to do my show. So it dawned on me finally one day, Chopper. All right, so I've chartered a chopper thing. That's all set up. It's picked. I've now picked the thing. It's set up. Am I going to chopper? Because that would be a baller move. Let's face it. Oh my God, if I could get some video of the Big Diesel flying into the inside of the track. Holy shit. Don't get me wrong, I would love it. The problem is I'm pretty sure I would hurl on a helicopter. I'm nearly positive. Is that really the way I want to start this thing? We have a call already. Bucking Bronco, let's see what's going on.
Yak.
Oh, Yak Horseman, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, man. So let's start here, Yak. Now that we know your history a little bit from previous calls, I got to know up front, Yak. Have you been to sleep, or are you going to sleep after the show?
No, I just woke up.
Ah, good. Okay, we get a fresh Yak Horseman. Awesome. Are you in the live stream, Yak, or are you just calling willy-nilly? Okay.
I was in the live stream a little bit. I saw you talk about Indy500 and the Overlords for a few minutes.
It was quite a rant, Yak. It was quite a rant.
It was. It was a good rant.
It's gonna freak me out if I can't go to the Indy500 2 years in a row. Yak, I'm gonna lose my shit. Have you ever been?
I have not ever been, but I would be very upset if you didn't get the chance to go.
Oh my God,
I'll be upset for you.
Anyway, I'm glad you called in, Yak. What's going on in your world?
My world's fine, man. It's just, same thing. I want to tell you a really funny story, though.
Okay, what you got?
So, the other day, I was scrolling through RPan, because I like to watch different things on RPan sometimes. And I came from this guy, and he was playing a video game called BioShock, but that's not what's important. I was looking in the chat, and there was a name that was familiar. And I was looking, I was like, who is this guy? He was Jet Engineer, the guy or the girl with the cat.
Yeah.
That you insulted. And I was like, oh my God, is that the guy with the cat? I almost wanted to, and then I asked him, I was like, hey, have you been on CTV, Chicago Tony V? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh.
Wait, Yak, did you literally ask him that, or you said you wanted to ask him that?
No, I did ask him that.
Yeah. Because I was going to say, I remember he came on a while back. I think it's a he. I still don't totally know. But yeah, I remember that person coming back on and finally I got a chance to confirm, did you see my apology video? Or are we cool?
Yeah. He said you apologized. And I was like, yeah, of course you apologize. He's Chicago Tony V, all right? He's not a tool.
I suppose it's part of my brand, Yak, isn't it? The apologizer.
Yeah.
Yak, so I'm curious to know. I know you love calling into shows, so I'm going to put you on the spot and just ask you to give a guesstimate, let's say. since the last time you called into the Chicago Tony V show, which it feels like it's been at least a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I don't know. If you had to guess, how many other call-ins have you done on other shows between then and now? I'm just curious.
Not many, like four probably.
Got it. What are shows that are these shows that you love, like you keep going back to, or are you just kind of winging it?
Some of them are. I call into. We talked about, I think, on my last call, and the guy whose name is Money Worms,
yep.
who will draw people, or just draw like whatever the topic of the day is. I called into him, and he's really enjoyable, because he's really artistically talented. And then I think the other 2 times have just been like, I was just on Reddit, and I just saw a number. I was like, yeah, I'll totally call this.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, Yak. Like the other day, I used to love to just sift through RPAN, and at just weird times. And I've now become so busy because of this runaway train called the Chicago Tony V show. I don't have as much time to do that. But the other day, like at a weird hour, I think I probably had insomnia, and I hopped back onto RPAN, and it was a great reminder to me of why I used to love doing that. And I love some of the weird shows that have call-in ability, but you can tell like they just never get call-ins. And then and so when they'll get a call-in, it's almost like they're surprised and kind of don't know what to do. It's really fun. I love it.
It's really enjoyable. Whenever somebody puts one of those numbers in front of me, I have to call it for some reason. It's just a thing in my mind.
Yeah. Hey, while you're on, maybe you can answer a question for me. So my buddies over at the We Have Issues, they're making the comic book, and they did the Kickstarter and all that stuff, Anthony and Stevie. They fired up a Twitch. They're on Twitch now because this project they're doing it. There's a musical element to it, and so Anthony told me the other day, he's like, "Yeah, we're on Twitch," and I was like, "Holy cow!" So I went and looked them, and I was watching it as a matter of fact last night, and it just made me think again. It's like I wonder what I got to check in on Yak on Twitch. So riddle me this, Yak. I have a hard time. I know you're up there somewhere because I've even seen something of yours. Does Twitch have a bad search function, or why can I not find stuff on twitch.tv?
I just think it's a combination of their mediocre search function, and there just being such an overabundance of accounts and people on Twitch.
Yeah.
Like if I albeit other platforms, if I misspelled something or like didn't really know how to spell something, it would it would be like, hey, is this wrong? But
right.
Like on Twitch, like if I typed like anything, like if I typed like Chicago Tony V, but like forgot an N,
yeah,
it would be so confused. It wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah,
but
I get what you're saying. Like last night, my search was just Yak, Y-A-K, and you would think that it would have shown me, and it did show me some Yak stuff, but it would have shown me yours too. But it doesn't seem to be able to take a partial search. It's like you're saying, it needs the whole exact thing, or it can't find you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's weird.
Yeah, but I don't mean to plug myself on your show, but my Twitch is Yak Horseman.
I figured it was, and I'm glad you did. I mean, obviously, I'm a fan. I'm saying here on my show that I was looking for you last night, so I'm glad you did. So it's just Yak Horseman. All right, I'm gonna search for that, Yak. I'm gonna search for that, and I'm gonna see what you're doing. And Yak, so I've set a goal, and I told Vinny, it's like, dude, all right, we're going to have a Twitch presence, right? By the end of by the time the Indy500 hits, I want to have something up on Twitch. So can I reach out to you in the meantime? If you're my Twitch expert. If I got questions, can I tap you on the shoulder?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I'm usually always available, at least as long as it's not. If it's between the hours of about 4 and 6 a.m., I'm almost always available.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I'm not usually a heavy sleeper, so if I get a phone call in the middle of the night, I'll usually wake up and reach for it and see who it is. But I'm not a heavy sleeper, but I usually. I don't know how I usually sleep through my alarms if I'm not a heavy sleeper, but I usually do. I think I've become so conditioned to hate alarms and alarm clocks.
I got it. Well, rest assured, Yak, I certainly don't anticipate having some sort of Twitch emergencies. So there won't be any waking you up in the middle of the night. I'll probably just DM you if I have a question. Just be like, Yak, hey, what's the deal with this? Why isn't this working? Whatever.
That works.
Yeah. Hey, Yak, listen, I got a thing I got to run through. I got a little outline for the show today. I'm super pleased that you called in, man. It's great to hear your voice. It's been a while.
Of course. I hope you have a good rest of your show, man.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks for being a part of it today.
Yeah, you have a good one.
Okay, you too, Yak. Take care, man. The marvelous Yak Horseman. What a guy. What a guy. Let's see if we still have music playing. Oh, we caught it right at the end of the song. It was throwing me off. Yak was on the very first Inside the Green Room with Chicago Tony V, which is a little kind of spin-off that I started doing. Yak was gracious enough to be my guinea pig for the first episode of that. It's up on our YouTube, Chicago Tony V, like Valerie. And Georgie Girl's in one. And later today, I'm interviewing the great Tim McCarthy, host of 20 Tim Minutes. Who knows? Maybe Timmy's even in the live stream. I've totally neglected. Listen, let me do my disclaimer so I don't forget. Everybody, don't believe a single word I say. I'm just a crazy person on the internet. Everything I say is allegedly. It's for entertainment purposes only. I don't want anyone from my past to come back and whack me, haunt me, sue me, rough me up, tickle me. Nothing, none of that. Let's let bygones be bygones. Also, for you beautiful podcast listeners, I don't care what you're listening through. It might be iTunes. It might be Stitcher. It might be Google Podcast. It might be Spotify. I want to explain what you're listening to. Right now, I'm live streaming on the internet through Reddit. I do it this way so I can talk to my beautiful friends from the internet, from around the globe. The magnificent Yak Horseman, who just called in, is a perfect example of that. I call all these friends Tonys, Pepperonis. I do it through Reddit so I can interact with them during the show. So, henceforth, for the rest of this particular show that you're listening to, Spotify listener, you'll hear me interact with these people in the comments section. I gotta go way back up top. I always like to talk about the first three commenters. It's our podium finish. It's a thing I started doing a long time ago, and I can't stop. People have come to expect it. And so, in the gold medal position is the Team Penske of the pepperoni commenters. It's the beautiful Inside and Out, the stunning redhead, Georgie Girl. Good morning, Georgie Girl.
Just a small town girl.
In the silver medal position, I believe, is the second podium finish in 2 days. Yesterday, I think, was Amber a bronze yesterday? It is Amber Glow 11. Good morning. Very good silver medal finish. I'm impressed. I think, were you not traveling yesterday, Amber? I believe, see, we're testing the old, how many brain cells do I have left? We'll see. I think Amber was traveling yesterday, and oh my gosh, in the bronze medal position is another podium finish for the beautiful, the talented, the sweetheart, the lovely, the gorgeous, the elusive Robo Cat. Good morning, Robo Kitty. Robo and Georgie obviously have their own sound effects. It's really stunning. So the comment section is heating up. It's fun to see everyone. Yeah, Robo says maybe there's a silent S in calculatrice. Calculatree? Have I been saying it wrong all these years? That would be kind of embarrassing. Robo says taxes are so easy now to do yourself. They're really streamlined. They've really streamlined the websites. Robo, I'll just say my taxes are kind of complicated because I'm a complicated person. I'm a bit unique, and I've felt the need to have a professional do it. And sadly, my guy, I mean, he's dying to retire. I thank Christ every year that I learn, okay, he's still going. He's going for another year. I just think thank God, because I don't want to have to teach someone else, you know, all the ins and outs of my financial situation. Let's just put it that way. Silent S in calculatrice. It's calculatree. Robo, you speak French? Can I call you after the show and will you just speak French to me? I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can handle it. Plumber for Life says hello. Good morning, Plumber for Life 84. Red Oats. Red Oats, welcome to the show. And you have an interesting comment. It might hurt my feelings. It might not. I'm not so sure. But Red Oats said a while back, if I can find it again, you look both 30 and 60 at the same time. It's strange. Well, thank you. The 30, thank you. The 60, I would like to say from me to you, go fuck yourself. I never liked you. I never liked your family. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the show. You should follow so that you're alerted, you know, the next time the show's up. We do this every morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're already 27 minutes in. Holy shnikes. Jeffrey, the vet author, is all across the stream, which is exciting to see. Icy Vado, another new Reddit user. Welcome. You say, I hate that we have no sense of when masks won't be mandatory to enter stores. What's the point of getting the shots if that's the case? True. I'm going to do my best not to have this show go off the rails. I've noticed we get a little dicey. Oh, Georgie did her homework. She says Andretti's 1969 Indy500 car had a turbocharged 2.65 liter Ford V8. Yeah, so I don't think that was the turbine. Maybe someone else knows. Let's see. Jeff, the vet author, he says he doesn't really like racing. That's too bad, Jeffrey. That is too bad, man. You're missing out. Open wheel. Now I'm with you. If we're talking NASCAR, I'm with you. I just don't get it. Can't do it. Don't get it. Ethel Merman's in the house. He says, and Big Diesel takes the checkered flag. If you become a driver, the overlords will have to let you in. God damn. You know what's funny? I mean, generally, I would say, oh, I'm too fat to be a driver. But A.J. Foyt, the greatest race car driver of all time, that dude was pretty big and pretty old. I mean, he drove into his 50s. I don't know how they got him into that car, how they wedged him into that car. They had to lube up A.J. Foyt with butter, I'll bet, to squeeze him into that cockpit. I don't mean to... I feel bad giving him shit. I think the guy is a god, a legend. What he could do with a race car. He won in sprint cars. He won in Indy cars. He won The dude won the Daytona 500. The dude won the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The dude won everything. He won all the greats, first 4-time winner of the Indy 500. So, please, I feel horrible. I wish I hadn't made the butter in the cockpit joke about AJ Foyt. He's tremendous. He's tremendous. Let's see. Sorry Economics says Batman or Spider-Man. Batman all day. All day long. All day. Batman is way cooler. Mario or Luigi? Let's face it. They're nearly twins. Nearly. I don't see much of a difference. You're playing Mario Kart, let's say. I mean, both of them are pretty much equal drivers. I'm just saying. That's just me. That's my thing. Don't start, Tony. You're going down that road again. Oh, thank you, Plumber for Life. You're right. Yep. I'm going to keep it unreal. Robo agrees. Don't talk about it, Tony. Oh, he's going to get the magnifying glass out, says Robo. And I did. Let's see what else is going on. A lot of comments this morning. Lots of stuff. Yak says Chicago Tony V Mario Kart tournament inbounds. That'd be fun. People keep telling me I gotta be a live streaming gamer. I think just out of principle, I can't do that. So anyway, getting back to the Indy 500, I'm super excited. I'm super psyched. I'm so psyched. And obviously, I realize that I'm in danger of having my heart broken again. I hope that doesn't happen. But I just thought of a story this morning, that just kind of proves that, I want to show you guys how much I care about this race, how much I enjoy it. By the way, phone lines are still open. Anyone wants to call me, go a different direction, have at it. Feel free. So, the race, I'll tell you the story of the 1992 race. Now, for the first 13 races, I would come down from Chicago. Day of. Do it all in a day. So we always did. I'd bring my brothers, my dad, family members. Great time. So 1992 was the first time that it was super fun because it was kind of a time where we started introducing friends and stuff. We got into this thing where it's like, let's bring friends to the Indy 500. And I've done that ever since. I love bringing friends and introducing them to the race. So 1992, the night before, I remember we were at my parents' swanky golf course mansion. They had quite a place. And we had friends over. Many of us were traveling to the race the next day, the next morning. And now it's funny. I'm not a drinker. It's not like I never drink, but a lot of times it just doesn't even occur to me. And usually when I drink, I like to give it a purpose, right? Okay, so I'm just never have one beer and done, or one cocktail and whatever. If I'm going to drink, I want to go somewhere. But back in during the 1992 race, during that weekend, I just didn't have much experience. Because drinking was just never my thing. Well, we have friends. And of course, you guys know I have this, I have some sort of mojo. I'm a fun person. I like people. And we're having a good old time. And I don't remember who, but, booze was at the thing. Whatever it was, I can't remember what I was drinking, but whatever it was, I did real good. I drank a lot of it. Now, keep in mind, we would leave from the Chicago West Side at like 6 in the morning. I think between 5 and 6. Now, I've always been a morning person, and I love the race, so I never had a problem getting up. But I'm not a drinker. And I drank quite a bit. And I was so inexperienced that I listened to this, you drinkers that understand. Listen to the order of what I did. I did beer and shots. But what I did toward the end of the night, I found somewhere in my parents' house, I'll never forget this. I found this gigantic jug of wine, a big jug of wine. Now, of course, by this time, I was already inebriated. And what I noticed, you know me, I'm a little bit of a showman, right? I like when other people have a good time. And what I noticed is, boy, my brothers and my friends really got quite a kick out of watching me take a swig from this jug of wine. This is like a freaking gallon of some sort of white wine. I don't know what it was. Boy, they got a chuckle when I did that. So what did I do? I kept doing it. I kept doing it. I did not have enough life experience to know this is a horrible idea. Horrible idea. And I remember my older brother just kind of trying to pull me aside and say, hey, is that really the best idea? But he was also one of the guys laughing. My brothers, they love to see me dance on the fine line, right? Between comedy and tragedy. And this was one of those nights. Well, so I kept, this to me was a laugh button. So I kept tipping that gallon jug of wine and letting it go down my throat and whatever. And, you know, there's no mystery. We know how this is going to go. You know, I just remember this is already toward the end of the night. All the other guys, they know, shit, we're leaving 5:30 in the morning, right? So they're ready to turn in. Well, I had that whole deal where the ground is going like this. By the way, Spotify listeners, this is video. I'm making hand gestures into a video thing. So you Spotify listeners, how do I describe it? The ground went sideways, right? It's going, and I remember I laid down and I felt like I was on some sort of carnival ride. Whoosh, 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 the bed was spinning. This is not very comfortable. And I decided, okay, well, I gotta get up and go, man. I gotta somehow work this out of my system. Because the bed's spinning, this is not good. And I got up, I walked out the door, and I just started stumbling through my parents' neighborhood. My parents' hoity-toity neighborhood. I remember it was very dark. I also remembered how interesting my gait was. I had that thing. When you get really good and drunk and when you're past some point of return, I had that thing where I couldn't judge where the ground was. So as my feet hit the ground, I kept being surprised. Like, oh, either, gee, I didn't know the ground was going to happen that quick, or sometimes I thought there was going to be ground under my feet and it wasn't quite there yet. So I'm stumbling around just like an idiot. But there's nothing that was going to keep me right for the next morning. Now I walked around the neighborhood, I don't know how long, probably an hour and a half. I'll bet it helped. I was also so inexperienced, I didn't even know, like, just drink some water, you idiot. I didn't know. I don't know. By the time I got back to my parents' place, everyone was asleep, so no one could coach me through this thing. So I finally went to sleep, probably horribly dehydrated. I had had God knows how much booze. And the next morning, I woke up with the hangover to beat all hangovers. It was the worst hangover of my life. And that still is true to this day. Chicago Tank, good morning, Chicago Tank. Good to see you again. Says you tied a good one on that night. I sure did. Oh man, it was quite a night. Georgie says, we used to feed our drunk friends lots of water and saltine crackers. Right. I needed a wingman, Georgie. No one was there to help me. No one was there to help me. It was quite a night. So I'm rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. I make it back to bed. Fall asleep. Next morning, wake up. Worst hangover ever. And it's like, guess what? All the dudes are piling in the car. Here we go. Which I felt like I was going to die. I felt like someone was I felt like there was like a lumber mill in my skull. That's what it felt like. I felt like someone was cutting trees inside my head. It was horrible. Oh my God. And of course, my brothers, especially my older brother, he knew, he felt bad. He knew how bad, he could tell how bad I was hurting. And the ride down there, you know me, I've got a bit of the gift of gab. Well, not that day. No, not the ride down. So they knew how bad I was hurting. Now, the funny thing is, I do that whole car ride. I go march to my seats, right? Imagine this as a hungover person. Most years, it's the beating sun toward the end of May in Indianapolis. Most years, it's hot as shit. I'm pretty sure that year was one of those years. But furthermore, it's the loudest goddamn thing you've ever been to. This freaking 33 Indy cars going over 200 miles an hour is loud as a motherfucker. And I had the headache of my life. And I sat there through that entire goddamn race because I love it. That's how much, I want you guys to understand, this is how much I love the Indy500. I wasn't going to miss it. And 1992, that is when the tremendous Al Unser Jr. won his first race. That was the closest finish. I believe it still is to this day. That was the closest finish. We sat in turn 4 that year. It was Al Unser Jr. and Scott Goodyear flying around turn 4. They were so freaking close. From our standpoint, we couldn't tell who won. We saw him cross the finish line. It's like, shit, I don't know which guy took it. Everyone, especially because of the Unser family. I mean, generally, Indianapolis natives and fans generally rooted for Al Unser Jr. his entire career because he was already racing royalty. We loved him. Now, Scott Goodyear's a good dude and a great race car driver. But we were kind of happy that little Al won. It was like this close. You can see it on video. If you look at the finish, you can clearly see, okay, little Al won. But it was so close that people in the stands had no idea who won. It was tremendous. It was lovely. I'm still thankful as hell. I have no ill feelings about that whole day. I got through it. I still look upon it fondly. Even though I felt like, one of those, those karate people who do demonstrations and they like break bricks with their head and shit. They'll do the bricks, they'll slam their head on some sort of masonry bricks. And then they feel like, then they get into this thing where they got to outdo themselves. So then they move up to, now it's blocks of ice and shit like that. That's the way my head felt that entire day, while 33 Indy cars were screaming in my ears as they drove past at 200 miles an hour. I was happy as a clam. I loved it. It's a tremendous race. There's a pepperoni who reached out to me a while back and said, you know what? I think I'm going to be in Indy on race weekend. I just want to let everyone know. You know where the big diesel's going to be. If the overlords let us go. If the overlords let us there, that's where the big diesel is going to be. And please, pepperonis, I'm going to be where the party's at. Okay, people? Reach out to me. You have my contact information. Even Chicago Tony V like victory at gmail.com. You have my freaking phone number. It's right up there on the screen. Phone lines are still open. Anyone who wants to. Hey, if you've never been to the Indy and you think like, shit, maybe this is my year, the Big Diesel will gladly be your tour guide. If you're coming to Indy, I'm going to be in Indy. I'll show you around. I don't give a shit. I love it. Water and crackers. We're still talking about the drinking. This is funny. Oh, Jeffrey the Vet author says, I quit drinking 15 years ago. 3-day hangovers. Yeah, they're bad. Yeah, Chicago Tank had a lot of those nights. We used to hit up TBK or White Castle. Then hit Dapper's for breakfast. There's nothing like a late night breakfast. I'll tell you what. Back in the day, oh, how I used to love going to Omega on Ogden Avenue there in Downers Grove. I took Sister Marie. She used to love banana splits. Oh, the nights I used to sneak out. Imagine ferreting a nun out of a convent in the middle of the night to go have a banana split. If that's not love, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Let's see. Chicago Tank says, I quit drinking last night, but plan on starting again at 5 tonight. I get it. I get it. Oh, Jeffrey, by the way, hey, so we finally, I said the other day, so Jeff is Jeff Woodward, published author. You can buy his book on Amazon. I was saying the other day that for some reason the Moneypennies couldn't get the Kindle going while I was on vacation. Well, the Kindle just went through. Bada bing. So I have Jeff Woodward, the tremendous vet author, the Chicagonite. His book is The Last of the Glowworms. I'm going to read his book. We should even say, Jeff, let's say it's your first book. Jeffrey's first book. I don't know, maybe you've written others. But I'm going to read that sucker, and we're going to get you on In the Green Room with Chicago Tony. Wait, Georgie says Jeff's book is great. Georgie, have you read the book? That's tremendous. Georgie, you might have to be on the In the Green Room when I have Jeff on then if you've read it. I don't know. Let's see, 47 minutes in. It's been really fun. Happy Thursday, everybody. Let's see what we got in the mailbag. By the way, just speaking of Chicago, just for a second, I wanted to. I have a friend on Twitter, Bob Norris. I don't know, Bobby, if you listen or not, but this dude, a good while ago, I was talking about Rainbow Cone. Rainbow Cone in Chicago. It used to be in Union Station, and it used to be I could not go through Union Station in downtown Chicago and not buy a Rainbow Cone. God damn. Anyway, Bob Norris on Twitter caught wind of this, and he's been keeping me abreast of what's going on with the Rainbow Cone people. Well, he just sent me a thing yesterday. Rainbow Cone is expanding to the burbs. It's like, oh shit. Now it's gonna, that's exciting. If you want, their ice cream is magical. I don't even know what the hell it is. What do you call it? It's got some orange sherbet. It's got maybe some pistachio in there. It's got some cherry. I don't fucking know, but it's awesome. Rainbow Cone. So thank you, Bob, for keeping me posted. Everyone's trying to figure out where Jeffrey Woodward, the vet author's book, is available for sale. Hopefully we can get some buzz about Jeff's book. Okay, mailbag, 49 minutes in. I got a busy day. Did I say already I'm interviewing the great Tim McCarthy? A little bit later, I think I did. I got too much stuff going on. And I'm too old and decrepit. Okay, dear Tony V, I have heard you mention on a couple of occasions that you were a vegan for a couple of years. Yes, I was. I'm curious to learn more. How did it go? Why did you stop? My daughter went full vegan last year, and she looks and feels great. I'm seriously considering taking the plunge. What say you? This is from Teresa K. Yeah, so I was a vegan for 2 years. Now, it's interesting. The first year, I would call, if I had to describe it, see, there's different shades and flavors of veganism, right? The first year, you might call me a strict vegan, or I would say like whole food vegan. So essentially, I did not eat any processed food. And I didn't eat any animal products, right? No cheese, no dairy, no hamburgers, no Vienna beef hot dogs. And you know what? Like your daughter, I felt great. Lost a lot of weight. A lot. I felt great. Now, that was year 1. Year 2, what I discovered is that I could still walk around and call myself a vegan, and I could eat total horse shit. Tofuty cuties. Robo, I love how you miss things, Robo. I love it. Robo, we're not doing the secret word this month. We're not doing the secret word this month. Your prize should be coming today, I think. Oh, I texted you that last night, didn't I? Oh, yeah. So year 2, I was a junk food vegan, and guess what? I swelled back up as if I was allergic. Is that what being fat is? Am I just allergic to processed food? Is that really all it is? But that first year, Teresa, I think was your name, I'm sorry. I didn't even eat sugar. No sugar. I felt great. But here's the thing. It's really difficult. I found, for me, it's really difficult to live in this society, in our society, to live that way. Because I remember, like a lot of people were just like, what's wrong with you? You know? And it was weird. You would get, once you say I'm giving up sugar, people then start trying to force desserts on you. It's the weirdest thing. It's like they feel bad for you or something. I don't know what it is. But what happened to me is I let my eye off the ball, and I just kind of let life get in the way. I actually really want to get back. Now I don't have plans to go back to veganism, but I have plans to really cut out all processed food. I think that's really what I need to do. I think I'll feel great now, but so what's going to be different? I just need to be, I need to be more organized about it. I think the biggest trick with this whole thing is how to deal with the rest of society when you're kind of eating different. It's just one of those things. Jeffrey, the vet author, has another book. He says, I have another one, semi-fictional, about 1980s Chicago, coming out soon. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. That's really exciting. Robo says she's a professional space cadet. Robo, you're tremendously lovely. And you're an artist. You're a gifted artist. So you get to... You just keep being you, Robo. You just keep being you. And the rest of the pepperonis will, at little times where something slips past you because you're... the other thing is you're smarter than the rest of us. You're very intelligent. So your mind is probably working on just something, that we can't even conceive of. So you're totally allowed to miss little things like the announcement that, hey, no secret word contest this month. Anyway, It's great to see the pepperonis interacting. It's so fun. It warms my heart. What a fun group we have, huh? What a fun group. Hey, that reminds me. I just want to let you guys know. Really do email the show. So I'm gonna be communicating to you guys here and there a little bit via email. It's just gonna be special little things. I'm kind of excited about it. So I'll start doing it. Maybe some of you guys will maybe start talking about it. But it's just another reason. Just email the show. You know, even just to say hi. That's kind of why we did the secret word in the first place. I wanted to make sure that I could reach out to you guys, even if Reddit puts me in Reddit jail or Twitter puts me in Twitter jail, etc., etc. You know how it goes. Okay, next mailbag. This is exciting. A little bit longer one. Dear Tony, I love listening to your show and thank you for the opportunity to write in questions. I'd never have the courage to call you live on air! ! Just like the VIP pepperoni Chifafa. She is that way. I'm curious to hear if you think you will have any challenges integrating back into normal life, unquote. After, quote, this flu thing, unquote, finally blows over. You've proven to me that you are a true fan. I appreciate it. Will you have any trouble getting back into normal life after this flu thing finally blows over? In other words, has your routine changed in a way that fits the pandemic and will need to be changed back once we're all free from this situation? This is from, she signs it, a loyal pepperoni named Janet. Wasn't that was Interplanet Janet? Was that a Schoolhouse Rock thing? Interplanet Janet? Henceforth, I shall call you Interplanet Janet, dear. Is there any... what an interesting question. Like, we've been in this thing so long, living under house arrest. Are there things about my life that have changed that when we are all set free by the overlords, is there something I'm going to have to adjust? What an interesting question. I mean, I'm going to have to get used to hugs again. I'm looking forward to a hug. We all know that. Let's see. I'll tell you something that's that I've noticed. This is a real thought that I've had. I'm not kidding. Now, I like to cook for myself. I have my great grandpa's sauce recipe. I have a couple sauce family recipes. I love cooking. I do that all the time. And as any card-carrying Italian, I love garlic. Now, honest to God, what's happened? Because I've been by myself basically for a freaking year. What I've noticed is I'm up in the garlic. Holy shit, do I use a lot of garlic. Here's how I know. Every once in a while I've had still friends come over for this and that. I mean, I haven't really done any entertaining. But sometimes friends will come in and now I've been using garlic for years and I love it. But now sort of repeatedly now, someone will come in the house and just be like, whoa. What's going on? What is this? What? I don't know what you're talking. And it turns out it's the garlic. So I might have to scale back the garlic, maybe. And that really hurts my heart. I love garlic. It's delicious. It's delicious. Isn't that a funny thing? I'm going to have to adjust the garlic. The highest title says Truman Capote back at it again. Good to see you again, the highest title. Those glasses are everything. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. What is this, a Starbucks promo stream? No, I hate Starbucks. But I did notice, so I stole one of these. When you see one of these mugs, I just stole it from one of the money pennies in the kitchen. We got a kitchen in our office. And just, there's a Starbucks. I hate Starbucks. Not my cup of tea. It's just not. I know a lot of people love it, love it, love it, love it. I do not. Robo says, Tone, take a quick helicopter ride over here and give me a hug. You can land on the beach. Robo, how awesome would that be? What an idea from the beautiful, the lovely, the talented, the elusive Robo Kitty. Robo, that's going to get me worked up all day. I have so much going on today. I got to be on my game. I'm interviewing the great Tim McCarthy. Holy cow, we're an hour in. We're an hour in. Oh man, what a day. But Robo, gonna get me going. You're throwing me off the game. You know? When a beautiful sweetheart of a New York paramedic starts dropping hints. Now, if you want an incredibly airsick, you know, retired mob figure, allegedly for entertainment purposes, if that's really what you want to land in your backyard, I'm crazy enough. I'm crazy enough. Chicago Tank says, scale back the friends. Garlic is forever. That is awesome, sir. And I agree with you, Plumber for Life. Yeah, this Starbucks, there, he says, or she, I think their coffee tastes burnt. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts guy. Me too. Me too. Friends for life. Listen, speaking of friends, you're all friends. Speaking of friends, I get to interview the great Tim McCarthy a little bit later. I got to do a real adult meeting in the meantime, which that chaps my ass. Today is tax day. That really chaps my ass. I got to pay twice as much as I was told I was going to have to pay. That super chaps my ass. And at any rate, I still need to be blissfully happy because I get to spend every morning with you guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's always a great time. It's always so fun. In the meantime, I want to remind you all, don't take any shit from anybody. I will see you tomorrow morning. I love you. Bye-bye.